Okay, so a big problem that we're having in my house right now is my brother is kind of addicted to the new game Fortnite. Um, and my mom has to yell at him all day to stop and take a break, you know. She leaves him bottles of water and stuff. She even bought him like a special Mario water bottle so that he'd want to drink out of it more. But he just doesn't stop, and we have to yell at him all the time because, there's a lot of problems with not drinking enough water. So today I wanted to kind of describe to you some of the problems with not drinking enough water and kind of persuade you to maybe consider drinking more. There was a report on the CDC that kind of stated that, especially with men, ages 20 and up, most of them do not drink enough water during the day. It said, with the typical amount of water, I think they say around at least 8 cups a day. Most men are not reaching that, and especially the 60 and over group are really far under that. So I was going to discuss that, some of the benefits of drinking more water and how not drinking water can affect you both with your general health and how it can help with diets in particular. So some of the main problem with not drinking enough water is dehydration. Some of the effects of that are nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which may sound strange considering those are things that get fluids out of your body, which is twice as bad when you're already not getting enough. And I can say from personal experience that I've suffered from dehydration once when I got really sick. I just lost my appetite for everything, and it really just made the whole situation worse where I wasn't able to take in like the fluids I needed to get better, and now I had another problem on top of being sick already. And then another example in particular was as my grandpa was aging, for most of his life he was pretty healthy, but then once he turned, he hit his 80s, he started to lose mobility. And once that happened, now he wasn't getting up as much, and now when he was alone, he just wasn't going to get enough drinks throughout the day. So one of the big problems that kind of created a negative impact on his life was he stopped drinking enough water, and then eventually he got a bladder infection. And once that happened, he never really recovered from that. It wasn't long after that, maybe 1 or 2 years until he passed away, which was kind of surprising considering how healthy he had been the rest of his life. Getting just a simple disease like that at a later age could be really detrimental to your health. So especially as you're getting older, it's important to remember to keep intaking those fluids so you stay healthy. And just so you don't have any other problems on top of aging already. On the positive side though, water could be really helpful when you're trying to diet or lose weight. Water is a natural appetite suppressor because it kind of just fills up your stomach when you feel hungry. Like if it's empty, just drinking some water can help you feel more full. So there was a study that was reported on by Medical News Today where 50 women who were classified as overweight drank 500 milliliters of water before each meal, which really isn't a lot. It's about the size of a regular bottle of water or just a large glass. And over the period of several months, that showed that they were able to decrease their overall weight, and their body mass improved. Their body mass index improved over that period of time. So just drinking a little bit of water before your meals can help you lose weight without adding like some of the negative effects where sometimes if people go out to a restaurant, they'll order a drink, get a soda or even like kids get a juice, which is helpful in providing the water that you need, but it comes with a lot of additional things like sugars and additives that kind of detract from the from helping you replenish your fluids. So if you just go to a restaurant and you order a water instead, and you drink like a glass before your food comes, that could really help you monitor how much food you're eating, and then helps just get more water into your system. So overall, I think it's just really beneficial to stay hydrated and get the right amount of water you need. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of things online saying, the required amounts, like the 8 cups a day that we see a lot, are kind of antiquated. But and a lot of people say that you should just drink when you're thirsty. But obviously, like the case of my brother, he doesn't stop when he's thirsty. And I think that if you just make an effort to drink a little bit before every meal, and as well as when you feel thirsty, it'll really help you not have any of the negative side effects of like dehydration, and overall it could just even help you lose weight. So consider drinking water next time before you have a snack, or just when you're feeling thirsty, it's good to stop in and take a break and get some water to drink.
Joshua, what did you think?
I thought it was really good. Did a good opener, good overall presentation. The examples were good, especially the one about his grandpa. It really exemplifies what you should be doing when you get older, and to not stray away from good habits, especially when you get older. And overall, I thought it was a good presentation. The beginning, it was funny, but it didn't really relate to his overall topic. But it was a good way to bring in his attention on there, get everyone's attention. But other than that, it was really good.
Well, I like the personal story. I think people can kind of relate to the problem that you're facing with your younger brother and the issue of Fortnite. People not paying attention to their health needs because they get obsessive about other things. I think you could make that a broader story, and say, well, it's not just that my brother playing Fortnite, but it's we lead our busy lives, and you go to school for 6 hours, and then you rush off to work, and you forget to hydrate yourself, or that you are absorbed in some project or reading when you're at home, or you're taking care, you're a home owner, or you're working at home, and you forget to do those kinds of things. So I think there's a way to generalize it a little bit more so that it would fit better. But it was fine as a way of kind of getting our attention. Like I said, it did feel a little bit like it was off on a different tangent, but when you got back to the point, it was okay. The topic is explained, and you have your goal is very clear. There's a preview about what the benefits and the harms are, and then you turn around and start with the harms and then get to the benefits at the end. So that seemed a little bit strange, but it was okay. You talked about dehydration and what the potential problems are there. The personal story was fine. I didn't really hear any other sources being cited on the issues of dehydration, how typical it is, how many people are affected by it, the kinds of everyday things that can happen when people are dehydrated. You know, I don't know that everybody gets nauseous, vomits, and has diarrhea on a regular basis because they didn't have enough water, but there might be other things that go along with this that you could use as a selling point to convince people that they need to consume water on a more regular basis. I do think that the story about your grandfather, you know, having a healthy life, having one issue where he you know, developed a bladder infection because he failed to hydrate himself adequately, and that was really kind of the start of a downward spiral for his life, and that's an unfortunate thing. You know, somebody who had been pretty vigorous, you know, being affected dramatically by one event, and you know, I think that sells that point pretty well. The positive side thing, where you're talking about maybe losing weight, it would be nice if you could cite the study more specifically. All we get as a reference was that there was a study, and I'm, you know, okay. There was a crooked man, there was an old lady who lived in the shoe, and there was a study. You know, which one of these is real? I don't know. It would be easier to say which one is real if you give me a source citation on it. And once again, that's not something that's that hard, and we've asked people to do that all semester long. So you just get yelled at more because it's happening right now. You know, other people have done the same thing and smack them around too. I do think that you did acknowledge that sometimes the idea that there's a certain amount of water that you have to drink each day is maybe a little bit problematic for folks, but also point out that there are lots of ways that you can address these issues kind of in a casual way. It doesn't necessarily require you to try and, you know, here's the pitcher and make sure you finish it by the end of the day kind of thing. You don't want to turn it into an onerous task on the part of people. I did see that meme recently. Did I mention that one about, you know, how guys struggle to finish 8 glasses of water, but you put 8 glasses of beer in front of them, and I have no problem doing that one. You know? So I think that there's a way to maybe sell the notion that this is not as difficult as people sometimes suggest it is. I think your presentation is really solid for the most part. You've always done a good job talking to the audience. You use your voice well. You don't have any distracting body movements. Sometimes your gestures are a little contained, maybe holding the hand a little bit more than you want, but that's a minor thing. You know, just something to maybe watch for, maybe think about being a little bit more engaged in a couple of other ways. All right, thank you.